Hello, this is a reading from the book Whistle with translation by Krishnapriya Subramanian. The garden at the edge of the desert. Planning ahead for the Ramadan holiday was never quite possible. After all, the holiday dates were at the mercy of the crescent moon, never quite certain until the last moment. Those 3 or 4 consecutive days of holiday were a true relief for someone who had spent so many days cooped up indoors, barely able to tell dawn from dusk. Travel being her only great love, she would somehow talk her husband into it every time, and off they went in whatever they had, the office pickup truck or the family car. 30 to 40 chapattis packed in aluminium foil, a tomato chutney and jam to go with them. That was the road food. Daytime meant no restaurants, so this was all they had. At night, they would buy kabsa, kuboos, or shawarma wherever it was available. That was how they traveled, from the northeast of the country all the way to the southwest, cutting through the desert along the highway. They would find whatever lodging was available and sleep for the night. There was never any fear about safety. From Dammam to Abha, a little over 1,400 kilometers one way, nearly 2,800 for the round trip. Luggage and bedding were tied to the roof of the car through every dust storm. The children slept through it all with one friend along for the ride. It was in 2010, on their first trip to Abha, that she met an Algerian farmer. Abha is Saudi Arabia's summer retreat, a beautiful place of dry, rugged mountains scattered with small farms growing grapes, corn, fodder grass, roses, pomegranates, and tomatoes. One day, wandering down a lonely, almost forgotten road, they found themselves at a dead end, the gate of a farm. The adventurer inside her wanted to push open that heavy gate and discover what lay within those fortress like walls. Just then, the gate opened on its own. A man stepped out, around 60 years old, arms crossed at his waist, asking in a gruff voice what they were looking for. In their broken Arabic, they somehow explained that they were searching for farms and fields around Abha. Beyond him, she caught her first glimpse of an ancient garden. When he noticed the spark of wonder in her eyes, he broke into a wide smile and swung the gate open. She practically stumbled inside. Cauliflowers, cabbages, so much more filled that garden, even roses. Every inch of it reflected the hard, honest labor. There was not a single farm laborer in sight. The Algerian told them he had been living in this remote corner of the desert for many years. He invited them to his modest home for coffee. They politely declined. The sight of that beetroot red face, full of quiet pride and eyes alive with light, was something she knew she would never forget. The rewards of hard work have their own sweetness. They stayed and talked. He began telling them how every single morning he carried buckets of water all the way from the nearby lake to irrigate the farm without fail. As he spoke, her focus drifted across the black and red carpet spread on the floor, to the charcoal stove, and to the dented tea kettle resting upon it. In his broken Arabic, he said, Laysa ladaya Allah. He had no family. That much she understood clearly. As they prepared to leave, she wore in her hair the fragrant Damascus rose he had given her from his garden, carrying it with all the pride it deserved. They waved goodbye, knowing with quiet certainty that she would never see this man again in her life. Yet, that checkered shawl, those hands roughened by hard labor, that gentle smile, none of it has ever quite left her. That nameless Algerian had handed her the most priceless lesson of her life, that hard work and unwavering perseverance are their own reward. The land he cultivated was not even his own. He carried buckets of water from the lake below, uphill to that borrowed farm, like an ox at a mill. Year after year, in a foreign land, in profound solitude, he had made his peace with it all, just like her. That good man never gave in. He carried immeasurable pride in his cauliflowers, his cabbages, his roses. Right then, the longing took root in her to build someday a garden like that, on someone else's land, perhaps. Roses grown by her own hands. Can they ever be without fragrance? Surely, hard work has a scent of its own. Thank you.